Welcome to the Law of Attraction Tribe podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Keith. If you're looking to manifest a life you don't need a vacation from, then you came to the right place. I quit my 9-to-5 job to stay home with my kids while building a thriving business. Now, as a best-selling author, app creator, and 3-times podcaster, I am here to teach you how to do the same. If you want to join my inner tribe, head over to the Manifest It Now app. And now let's dive in to the podcast where I'm going to give you my best manifestation hacks and tips so that you can manifest a life full of abundance, freedom, and fulfillment. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Law of Attraction Tribe podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Keith. So I wanted to let you guys know there is some great new content in the Manifest It Now app for October. I love Halloween. I love witchy season. I always have fun with this, and you guys always seem to love it in the app. So I added a protection spell, and if you're not into like the witchy stuff, it's nothing to be like scared of or concerned about. It's literally just about protecting your energy and the energy in your home. And so there's a lot of really good tips in there. I also created a love subliminal. This has been the most requested subliminal from people in the app. So this is for manifesting love or improving existing relationships, healing past relationships. So it's 8 hours. So you could play it overnight while you sleep. And then there's also a manifesting love guided journal that's going to walk you through the process of manifesting love into your life. And so those are the new things so far. We're going to have some moon rituals later in the month. So this is definitely a time that you want to get in there. We have new content every single month. And for October, I have a flash sale going on for 50% off. So I'll link that in the show notes, or you could just download the app in the App Store. It's called Manifest It Now, and get the 50% off there as well. All right, so I figured that I'm going to go ahead and do a subliminal episode because it's been a while since we've really, gotten into the whole topic of subliminals, and I've been on a lot of other podcasts recently where everyone wants to know more about that. So I figured we would talk about that in case you don't know or you just wanted to understand a little bit more about why I am so adamant about listening to subliminals daily. And I want to talk about some of the results that people have gotten in the app because I think it's fun kind of doing my own little experiment, seeing firsthand what is happening when people listen to them. So if you've listened to past episodes about this, there have been experiments around subliminals from like the 50s through the 90s. And there's been so many research studies that have been done showing that there is a correlation between subliminal messages and behavior. And then abruptly, those studies all seem to stop in the 90s. And I don't really fully know why, but the best thing I can tell people is to just be your own scientist and do your own study. Like go at this with an open mind and see what a difference it makes in your own life, and then make your judgment based on that. But it all started when in the 50s, someone who owned a movie theater had put a subliminal on the movie screen that was getting people to feel really thirsty and hungry. And it put a beverage and popcorn on there. And the guy said the concession stands went through the roof. And this actually caused like the government to come and investigate what he was doing. And that was kind of where all of these studies came from. And then you also have Edward Bernays, who is like the king of marketing or propaganda. And he was actually the nephew of Sigmund Freud. And so he took all of this knowledge of the subconscious mind and how it works. And he went to big corporations, as well as our government, and said, hey, I know how you can get people to change behavior. And this will help increase sales. This will help increase compliance in terms of like what he did with the government. And that was kind of how this different form of marketing and subliminal messaging came into America and became very popular, used in commercials for decades now. And so I've always thought, well, if it can influence behavior in sort of this sneaky, manipulative way that we're unaware of, then what happens if we use it and direct it in a way that we want? So to change our behavior, but in a positive way, to help us form positive habits, or, use it for being more successful, looking for more opportunities, aligning with our purpose, feeling more joyful, more gratitude, healthier, being able to, feel good about the way we look and the way we feel and our confidence levels. And so that's when I started doing my own little experiments with it. So just some important information to really understand like why I believe that subliminals are the ultimate manifestation hack. Your subconscious mind is in control like 95% of the time. So the best way that I can think of to describe this is think about a time where you were driving somewhere and you just zoned out. You just kind of like started daydreaming and thinking about other things. And next thing you know, you arrive at your destination safely, right? And even though you weren't consciously paying attention, you were daydreaming and thinking about all these other things or talking on the phone or whatever, you still got to your destination safely because your subconscious has taken that route many times and is paying attention. And its whole job is to keep you alive and safe. And so this is why you don't have to think about taking breaths when you sleep or your heart beating. Like your subconscious takes care of everything for you, and it's incredibly intelligent and it's always paying attention. And so the capacity of the subconscious mind versus the conscious mind is very, very different. So the subconscious mind in any given second is taking in 11 million bits of information from your environment, where your conscious mind is only taking in like 1 to 200 bits. So we're talking about 11 million versus 1 to 200. The capacity is enormous. And so there's so many things that our subconscious is picking up on that we're completely oblivious to on the conscious level. And the way that the subconscious chooses which information it's going to send to the conscious mind is by looking at what we deem important. So think about like everything you think about, everything you talk about, everything that you pay attention to and focus on. I want you to think about it as like you're placing a tag on that thing that's going to tell your mind, your subconscious mind, hey, this is important. And so when you see things related to this, you need to process it for your conscious mind. And it's called the reticular activating system, which is basically like the brain's filter of sorting through all of this stimuli in our environment and deciding what's most important to send to the conscious mind. So this is why if you go and buy a new car, you start seeing that car everywhere. It's not that all of a sudden everyone in the world started buying this car. It's that now your subconscious has tagged this car as important because it sees you getting in it every day. It sees that you just bought it. It sees that you put a lot of time and energy and focus into it. So now it's going to notice it. So it's not that these things weren't in your environment before. You're just now processing them at the conscious level. So the reason why people struggle so much with building habits, with manifesting, with making big positive changes in their life is because you have been kind of running your life on autopilot because your subconscious is in control 95% of the day. And so whatever your subconscious is programmed with is the program that is going to keep playing out. And this program was downloaded or developed onto your system, your mind, your computer from age 0 to 7. So during your childhood years, you were like a walking sponge, just absorbing and downloading all and any information around you from your parents, from TV, from teachers, friends, neighbors, like anything that you were exposed to. And these things all went in to form your core belief system. Now, after age 7, your neural pathways are still static, so you can still make those changes. But the reason why it's harder as you get older is for a couple reasons. Number one, your beliefs are continually reinforced throughout your life through your experiences. So they become a little more like ingrained and set in stone as you get older. And number two, your brain goes from being completely in the theta brainwave state, which is the state like right before you fall asleep or right but when you wake up, that's more vulnerable. So it's like a sponge that soaks up all this data, but it switches. It's not in the theta state all day, every day. Once you reach age 7, you mature and you start to get into the alpha and the beta brainwave. So after age 7, the only way to reprogram this system of core beliefs is through repetition. So that's where affirmations come in. Like saying affirmations, writing affirmations are great. Doing it every day, repeating it is great, but you can only say or write so many affirmations. Like think about, how long it would take you to say or write 1,000 affirmations. Where in a subliminal, you're getting 1,000 affirmations in a 1-hour subliminal because of the technology that we have to be able to take these affirmations and speed them up and loop them in a way that the subconscious can understand. So we can't consciously comprehend this. We're not consciously hearing it, but the subconscious is. It's able to take this and decode it, and it can be reprogrammed a lot quicker than the old-fashioned way, which is writing affirmations or saying affirmations. So it's a really powerful and quick method to change your beliefs, which helps you change your thoughts, which helps you change your actions, which helps you change your patterns and your habits and your lifestyle. And so what happens is, let's say you grew up with this core belief that making money is hard, which you probably have because our entire society is conditioned around this belief, okay? We're conditioned to be like workers. So if you have this belief, then your subconscious is continually looking for things in your environment that correlates with that. So jobs that are hard, like it just sort of accepts this command that life is hard, that making money is hard, right? But if you start to reprogram it, you start to feed it thousands of affirmations that making money is easy and fun and it's always around you and it's so abundant and you're just overflowing with these wealth opportunities, your subconscious eventually will hear that enough that it will now tag that as important. And so now when the subconscious is looking at this 11 million bits of data every second, it's going to start looking for things that correlate with making money in an easy way, wealth opportunities, things that bring you money with ease. So it's not that it's like magic where these things just come out of thin air. That's like a whole nother conversation. It's that you're just now consciously aware of the opportunity that was always there. It was always right in front of you. It was always available to you, but you just had no awareness of it. You had your blinders on. You weren't noticing it because you weren't tagging it as important in the subconscious mind. And this can be done for anything. It could be done for money, for love, for confidence, for health, for working out, anything. And so obviously, like I've been using these on myself, and like one of the things that I put in my subliminal for myself is around working out. Like working out is fun. I love working out every day. It's so easy and enjoyable. I love moving my body. I can't wait to wake up and get my workout in. It makes me feel so good, so vibrant, so energetic. It's just so easy for me to work out and move my body and feel good and eat healthy. And guess what? Like I just do it now. I don't even have to think about it. I wake up and it's like, I got to get my workout in, and I look forward to it because I know it's going to make me feel so good. Clearly, like this has been a result of programming my subconscious mind with that, because my entire life I've struggled with working out and keeping and forming that habit. It's just been a constant battle. And ever since I put this in my subliminals, it's just a part of my lifestyle. And it happened pretty quickly. So everyone always asks that, like, how long does it take listening to the subliminal before I start to like manifest things in my life? It really depends. It depends on how ingrained your limiting beliefs are. It depends on how often you're listening to the subliminals. A lot of people in the app will just play them overnight because you don't have to do anything. You just play them in the background. You don't have to consciously listen or anything. Like you just consciously hear meditation music and your subconscious does the rest of the hard work. So you could play it while you sleep, play it in the background of your day. Personally, what I do is I listen to it once a day in the morning, typically like while I'm journaling and stretching and that kind of thing. I'll listen to one subliminal. So that's it. And it has a profound impact. Obviously, the more you listen to it, the quicker it's going to work. I have had people tell me like that they every single time they have listened to the money subliminals, whether it's the financial freedom one or the money manifestation one, that they will like in a really strange way manifest money. Like they'll get a client out of the blue, or someone will give them money, or like something will just fall into place where they get money right after listening to it. So it's like very interesting how these things happen. I had a woman message me the other day. People had asked for a fertility subliminal for like the longest time. And I finally made one, and I had a woman message me and she was like, by the way, it works. And she had been dealing with infertility for a really long time, was about to give up, was just like in that, space where it's like, this is impossible. And she listened to that and she got pregnant. So I'm not saying that it's a guarantee that these things will happen or that like it's just a miracle fix. Like there's lots of elements to it, and you have to act upon the opportunities you're presented with. Okay. So like if you start listening to subliminals and all of a sudden an opportunity falls in your lap, it's still up to you to act on that opportunity. So you can't like just expect the universe to do everything for you. You have to take some action on your part, and everyone has free will on whether they do or don't. And so that's the difference. A lot of times people like won't act on opportunities out of fear, and so they don't see changes. So that's like the part that's your job. The reprogramming of the beliefs and all of that like leave that up to the subconscious. Let the subconscious do the heavy lifting, and then you just take that action when it's presented and when it feels good. And that's it. Like that's really all there is to it. And so it's just a really easy way to reprogram your beliefs, and it happens quicker, and it's a lot better than trying to say or write thousands of affirmations. And affirmations are great. Like I still say them and I still write them, but it's like, why not give that extra boost with subliminals in creating a more positive mindset? And the other thing I will point out that I absolutely notice, and I have had like hundreds of people reach out and say the same thing. Like so many people make this comment about the subliminals. They get in the routine of listening to it every single morning or every single night when they go to bed. And if they miss a day, they notice a difference. And I do too. Like I absolutely notice a difference in my energy and the way I feel and the thoughts that run through my mind in that day and what I accomplish and just like how good I feel overall, because they're combined with like binaural beats and theta waves and all kinds of frequencies that make you feel just really good, like almost euphoric. It's like you just feel good and you can't really explain it, like that kind of feeling. And so when you skip the subliminal, after getting used to that every morning, it's like you notice and you realize like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how crappy I felt before subliminals came into my life. And like now I will notice it within like 30 minutes of skipping it in the morning. I'll notice it. I'll be like, man, I'm really dragging today, or I just feel like crap. And it's like, oh yeah, I didn't listen to it. So it really does have a pretty potent effect. And hopefully by now, you know, like how connected the mind and body are, and the mind directs the body and vice versa. And so I think it's all correlated. And I think that's why like I will physically, mentally, and emotionally feel different or like sort of off if I miss it. So anyhow, back to what I was saying in the beginning. The way, like, I don't want to convince anyone of anything. I just want you to try it for yourself. Be your own little researcher or scientist. And what do scientists do? They keep an open mind, they clear away their bias, they try it, and then they review the results. So try it and see how you feel. Keep a journal, keep a log of like how you feel, your energy level, what you're accomplishing, what you're manifesting before and throughout and after. And I guarantee you will see a shift. And it's important to like document this and journal it, because just like when you do like EFT tapping, sometimes it's so effective that you literally forget how bad you felt prior or like your state of mind prior. And so it's a really good idea to write it down so you can like go back and realize like, man, I forgot what a bad place I was in before this. So that's what I would suggest. And like I said, this is not something you have to overdo. You don't have to listen to these 24/7. Just listen to it. Like start out just listening to it every morning when you wake up or as you're falling asleep or like while you're brushing your teeth. Like pick a common thing that you do every day and just play one of the subliminals and see after a week how you feel, what your energy's like. Do you feel more focused? Do you feel like you've accomplished more? Do you feel more productive? Do you feel like you've just had really good luck all week, or you've felt really like lively and energetic and confident? Like kind of look at those things and then make your own judgment. And so if you want to get started with that, now's the time to do it, because I have a whole library of subliminals in the Manifest It Now app. And in October, I have my flash sale going on for 50% off. So this is the best time to get in, and you will have full access to the app, including like all the courses and trainings and workshops and challenges and meditations. But I'm telling you, start with the Subliminal Library. If nothing else, just do that. And it is a game changer in your life, in what you manifest, and in how you feel. So I hope that you try it, and please keep me posted, because I'm really loving hearing the results of everyone's little experiments that they're doing. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you back here next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys want more in between these podcast episodes, you can subscribe to my Apple Podcast, Manifested It. You can find that in Apple Podcasts, and it has all of my bonus interviews, guided visualizations, subliminals, meditations, all that good stuff. Or you can download the Manifest It Now app, where I put everything, all of my interviews, tools, everything I've used to manifest a life I don't need a vacation from. You can find that wherever you get your apps, in Google Play or the Apple App Store. And you can join the Inner Tribe Manifesting community, which is inside the app as well, if you want to up level with a group of women who are there to support you, cheer you on, give you guidance, and up level your vibe. And if you love this episode, the best thing you can do to support the podcast is share it. Share it with a friend, share it on your Instagram. Make sure to tag me at Law of Attraction Tribe so I can share it back on my story as well. I love connecting with you guys and putting a face to all the listeners out there. So come connect with me over on Instagram and let's start a conversation. Have a great week, and I'll see you back here next time.